Chapter 13, 53, Tiger Lick. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Fang Yuan's heart shook. What killer move is this? The divination tortoise's shell is the hardest thing on its body, yet it could not endure this attack. Even though my sovereign immortal body has the trait of non-conflicting downmarks, my tough, ancient, desolate beast body still suffered such injuries. Black Tigress's battle strength was out of Fang Yuan's expectations. Her method was peculiar and could bypass even the divination tortoise's defense. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan did not dare to hold back. He quickly used rank 7 Immortal Goo precaution. This rule path, Immortal Goo, had already been added into Vajra Shell by Fang Yuan. Immediately, the original Vajra Shell killer move stopped working. A brand new Vajra Shell killer move was activated. Whoosh! Wind was created out of nowhere. The divination tortoise's aura changed. The brand new Vajra Shell killer move used a large number of time path Mortal Goo. Their effect was to eliminate the weakness of precaution and Mortal Goo needing 10 breaths of time. Thus, once Vajra Shell was activated, precaution Immortal Goo's effect became active at once. The small tortoiseshell thoughts expanded and became firmer. At the same time, the divination tortoise's main body started to shine in a metallic light. It also became darker. Black Tigress saw this, and her expression changed. She licked again. The two were far away, but Fang Yuan still suffered injuries despite the distance. There was another hole on the tortoiseshell, but this time it was only the size of an adult's fist. The injury was light, and there was no black smoke. The wound earlier had already stopped producing black smoke. The injury was expanding very slowly. Black Tigress snorted coldly. Feeling unresigned, she muttered, "In that case, I will attack there." At the next moment, Fang Yuan felt his tortoise head go numb. Immediately, pain assaulted him. There was also a numb feeling as well. The injuries were not light. Fang Yuan quickly placed his head into the shell. "Damn it!" Black Tigress saw this, and her eyes spewed fire from rage. Fang Yuan was very shameless. Not just his head, his limbs and tail also went into the shell. Only the tortoise shell thoughts were still spinning and increasing in numbers, raising his defensive power and range once more. Black Tigress licked the tortoise shell continuously, but there was little use. She was in a predicament. There was nothing she could do to Fang Yuan. Wu Liao healed his injuries as he watched the battle. Seeing this, he broke out in sweat. He thought, "At this rate, when will Lord Wu Yihai be able to take revenge for Wu An? How many years would it take?" Bade snorted in unhappiness. The other holes had intense battles, but Fang Yuan was calm and composed. There was little commotion. Fang Yuan easily hid inside his shell. He was thinking rapidly about Black Tigress's killer move. Killer moves could be directed to targets in certain ways. For example, a fireball killer move may need to form in the hands first before being shot out towards a target to have any form of impact. But where it flew, in what direction, and towards what target, that would depend on the direction that the killer move was designed to move. Wherever the move was directed towards, the fireball would fly there. If the targeting was not impressive, the fireball would move straight. After leaving the hands, its direction could not be changed anymore. If the targeting ability was stronger, the fireball would be able to move in a curved manner. After leaving the hands, its direction could be tweaked slightly. And even stronger ones would have automatic homing abilities. Black Tigress's killer move must also have a targeting ability. It is formless after activation. It is not as obvious as a fireball, but it definitely has a targeting ability. Because it is not a wide-ranged attack, the damage is concentrated. Then how does it do that? By sight? Thinking of this, Fang Yuan activated his goo worms, creating a thick fog around the divination tortoise surrounding it. Eatos, what is this Wu Yihai trying to do? Black Tigress was suspicious that Fang Yuan was using a new killer move. She quickly stretched out her tongue and licked towards Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was hit again. Not sight? Is it smell? Fang Yuan used his method again. The fog became extremely smelly. Wu Liao, who was close by to him, had a twisted expression as he quickly used his goo worms to breathe internally. The smell spread in the air. Soon, other battlefields were looking over. Wu Yihai is actually trying to break the other party's killer move. Ba Dai's eyes shined. He could see Fang Yuan's motive. He snorted as the displeasure in his heart grew. There was usually little hope of breaking an enemy's killer move on the spot. Experimentation was needed, and even if the reasoning was understood, there might not be the necessary immortal goo or method to counter it. Trying to break a killer move, it would result in a drawn-out battle. This is an emergency, but he still has the time to break the killer move? If he has time, he should try to kill the enemy. Ba Feng expressed the unhappiness in his heart. Ba Dai did not say anything. Now was not the time for internal conflict. Black Tigress hesitated for a moment. She stretched out her tongue and licked again. Another hole appeared on Fang Yuan's shell. Fang Yuan had a flash of inspiration. I get it. This is her sense of taste. Normally speaking, taste was experienced through the tongue, and goo immortals' tongues were able to taste things from afar through immortal goo or killer moves. It was not hard. Every time she activates it, Black Tigress needs to stretch out her tongue. She and Shadow Sect are aligned, while Shadow Sect has food path true inheritances. Only such a non-standard path can deal such damage to my defensive divination tortoise transformation. Let me test it. The divination tortoise turned red, especially the shell. It was red as molten iron. Black Tigress licked and immediately cringed. Ah, so hot! The divination tortoise's redness faded. There was a strange smell in the sky. Black Tigress stretched out her tongue and licked. She almost puked from disgust. She frowned. So salty. The divination tortoise transformation changed again. Black Tigress stopped trying. She understood Fang Yuan's intention. This guy, he is actually trying to counter my killer move. He is not trying to use any immortal killer moves. Damn it! Black Tigress thought earlier that the divination tortoise's changes were the start of Fang Yuan's new immortal killer move. Thus, she interfered with him time and time again. Once she succeeded, Fang Yuan would suffer an intense backlash. She would have hope of passing this huge tortoiseshell obstacle. Under such a situation, he still has time to try to deduce and counter my killer move? Fang Yuan's movements were not logical. The battle was so intense now, nobody had any time for this. But precisely so, Black Tigress fell for it. After realizing that Black Tigress stopped using this move, she started to use other long-range methods. She punched with both fists as dark green fist ki moved around the troublesome tortoiseshell thoughts. Some were wiped out, but some managed to land on the divination tortoiseshell. Even though the damage was little, each time the punches landed, Fang Yuan's body shook uncontrollably. Evidently, this immortal killer move had rule path goo worms. Black Tigress was trying to prevent Fang Yuan from using an immortal killer move. It was a good strategy. It was taste, huh? Fang Yuan's head was still inside his shell. Even though he had a result, it was still far from truly breaking Black Tigress's move. Fang Yuan, however, was not in a rush. Black Tigress could not use this move anymore. Her punches were of little harm to Fang Yuan. The original Wu Yihai had other methods, but they were all defensive in nature. Black Tigress was really overthinking it when she guarded against Fang Yuan's attacking moves. Even though he had them, with this identity, he could not use them. If he tried, he would incur huge suspicions. His identity was likely to be exposed. Thus, this battle slowed down tremendously. Fang Yuan did not want to attack, or rather, he had no attacking moves, while Black Tigress could not go past this shell. After a long time, there were already 100,000 tortoiseshells around Fang Yuan. Black Tigress felt like she was helpless. The vast number of tortoiseshells made this an incredibly eye-catching sight in the battlefield. Ba Dai's expression became even colder. He could not help but transmit, Wu Yihai, I heard you have 2 more transformations. Why are you still holding back? Quickly kill her and reinforce the others. Unless you really have some relationship with this white rabbit, you can't bear to kill her? Fang Yan heard Ba Dai's transmissions but ignored him, pretending not to hear anything. Ba Dai did not get a reply. He gritted his teeth in anger. His gaze towards Fang Yuan turned colder. Fang Yuan was thinking about his situation. Shadow Sect is definitely attacking to save Spectral Soul's main body. They control Zuo Yahui, but the extent is limited, and the rank 8 Gu Immortal Purple Mountain True Monarch has not shown up yet. The Righteous Path has the Super Gu formation. We can hold on for a while. As long as we stall for time, reinforcements will come from all over. And I have Reverse Flow Protection Seal. I can resist rank 8 existences. They will not be able to defeat me. Purple Mountain. True Monarch is a Wisdom Path Gu Immortal. How can he not have a trump card? And these Righteous Path Gu Immortals are far from being desperate now. I should conceal my identity and wait for a chance to take action. Maybe this time, I might have some great gains. Fang Yuan thought about it and realized this was a great opportunity. He had sufficient strength, but he needed to wait for the right timing. Shadow Sect was a huge threat to him. He wanted to exterminate them all. But Fang Yuan had not succeeded in any of his attempts so far. It was not that he did not try or that he was not determined enough, but Shadow Sect's group was made of elites and geniuses. But now was a grand opportunity.